All right, Boyle, start us off.
Yeah, Sydney, good to see you again, and
You too.
congratulations. Just
Appreciate it.
the way last year went for you here, coming in, playing well, starting a bunch of games. How good is it to be back and continuing with this team?
Um, it's amazing. I've had a rough start to my career, my Philadelphia days. Had a nice year in Jacksonville last year. Got traded to begin the year. Started, when I started, wasn't, doing the best, but wasn't doing the worst. Not to my standards, of course. I was just getting my feet wet. So just to continue that progression and get better and better all year. That's one thing I love about football. You can control your own destiny and your progress. So me making that progress and continuing that was great, and that's important to me. And I, being back in Seattle means everything to me.
Corbin or Jen, I'm sorry.
Sydney, what kind of games do you play with that headset? It looks like you must be a
Yeah,
gamer.
I'm a gamer. I play Warzone. I got the whole setup.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
When you think about returning to this defense, I would think some things change with the changes on the coaching staff. But what do you like about this and how you fit into the entire scheme?
What I love about it, I was there to sign my contract, meet the coaches, and all that stuff, and they explained to me the gist of it, and it sounds exactly like my days at Washington. Tight match, cover three type stuff, mix in a couple other stuff, but that's the generic basis of the defense, and basically playing ball, playing man, and locking your guy down one on one. So that's right in my wheelhouse. I did that long for a long time in college, so excited about that.
Corbin.
Hey, Sydney, congrats on the new contract. You
Appreciate it.
mentioned that, you had injuries early in your career. It was a rough start for you. Last 5 or 6 games last season, it seemed like you really hit your stride. Where do you think you made the biggest improvements, and what's that next step look for like for you in 2022?
Yeah, injuries they're part of the game. But you just have to find a way to figure it out and grow from it and learn from it, learn your body and whatnot. But when I started to catch my stride was I feel like the biggest thing is communication and familiarity with your defense of scheme, not just the scheme, but the players you play with and get a feel for them. So I feel like that was the one of the biggest things from early in the season where I didn't have that feel. I didn't know the players being that I was traded week one. I didn't have any OTAs or camp experience with anybody. But that flow just started to come about, and I think that's very important. And got Diggs back, which is huge, and Jamal, and those guys are great. So everybody, and it's gonna be a great feel for my game this year.
Curtis.
Yes, Sydney, was that the most confident you've been since maybe even the Achilles pop back at the pro day, like both from like a health standpoint and a comfort and a defense standpoint, and all of those things kind of coming together the second half of last year since the time at Washington?
Most definitely. Everything just started to click and come together. And when I'm like that, I'm at my best. So I believe the future is very bright.
Spinning that forward, given that confidence, how obvious did it seem for you to want to come back to Seattle then, given that fit and the way you could picture yourself fitting into everything, given your play at the end of last season?
Um, Obviously, I had a chance to hit free agency, but the top priority was trying to get a deal done with Seattle, and we made it happen. I had success here. I'm like, why try to go somewhere else? Like right now, at this point in my career,
Greg.
and it's Seattle. It's got a special place in my heart.
Greg.
Sydney, hi, welcome back. I'm actually on your old campus right now.
Hey.
The blossoms are out,
Yeah.
What do you know about Sean Desai? What have you learned about him already, and what might he bring to the defense?
Um, haven't got a chance to sit down with them. Just met him, but I've heard very good things about him. And his style. Coming from Chicago, kind of like more tight match type of mentality, more sticky type of defense. Hopefully we get a chance to, get more in detail with him and talk with him in the near future when OTA is starting stuff. But talk to Carl Scott, and we had a real good conversation when I was there. So excited about that and to work with him.
Brady.
Hey, excuse me, Sidney. Congratulations on returning to Seattle. You had mentioned the idea of match cover 3. We've heard that from other people as well. In the most like layman's terms as possible, can you explain what that means and what that would look like for just a fan watching it on TV?
Cover 3, so you have a post safety. Most likely be Diggs. Diggs patrolling back there like always, doing what he does, and then the corners. If everybody is split out, kind of like in a normal split alignment, the corners will take the outside guys, the nickels will take the inside guys, and you just play man-to-man coverage from there. And you have two, most likely 2 inside backers that give hook support, inside support, to help on any in breaking routes and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Thank you. You could be an announcer, a color commentator in your post playing career if you want to.
I would love that.
That was helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Corbin.
Well, since Brady decided to get technical, I guess that I'll ask something technique-wise here. Sydney, what is the big difference between when you reroute a receiver and you've got half safety over the top versus playing press and cover 3? How does that feel different as a player?
Whose perspective do you want? My perspective, safety's perspective, quarterback?
Your perspective. Yeah, if you
Okay.
want to talk about the safeties too, that'd be great.
Okay, so in cover 2, my job is to slow the outside receiver down because sometimes we'll have an inside threat. So if I can disrupt my guy, it gives extra help for my safety over the top. But if he has 2 guys screaming down the field, imagine you have Tyreek and whoever else in the slot, it's like impossible to cover. So as a corner on the outside in cover 2, you want to get great disruption, hands on, and feet and hands work together. So that's very important. And our safeties would love you and give you props all day if you do that. So cover three, single man, single high, less responsibility for the post safety. Basically, it's more pressure on the corners, which is kind of our job. So it's like that's what we're used to. Even there, you wanna kind of get hands on there and disrupt your guy off his route. So you can disrupt timing. Disrupting timing is very important, key to actually both those coverages and making it work.
Thanks, greatly appreciate it.
Yep.
All right. Anything else for Sidney, guys? Nothing. All right. Thank you, sir.